Hello, my friends. Hang on. Hi, Mike. Oh, Ancient Alien. Hello. Hi, Mason. Can you guys hear me? Hey, guys. I am so sorry. Can you see and hear me? I'm using a new program and it is all messed up. Okay, great. And I sound okay? You guys can hear everything okay? Okay, great. That's my husband, Tarot Transformations. The split cam is not working, honey. For some reason, the face cam would not turn on. I don't know what happened. I used the printer. I'm probably screwed it all up. But anyway, guys, I wanted to be able to show you my face tonight, but that's not going to work. Here I am. There's part of my face. But anyway, sort of quiet. Let's see. I wonder how I can fix that. How would I be able to fix that? Maybe Joe can tell me. Joe, is there a way to make it louder? Does it sound quiet to everybody? Okay. All right. Well, um, sorry guys. I had this whole setup tonight where you were going to be able to see my face in one corner and my hands actually doing the art in the other corner. I tested it redundantly several times, and for some reason, my second camera is not being recognized at the moment. So we're just going to have to go with jazz hands. Hello, welcome. Welcome to Candy Heart's Art Potato Party. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm so excited for this. I've been preparing and trying to get this cool cool computer shit to happen, I bought a second camera so that you could look at my face. But I guess that's just the universe telling me nobody needs to see my face tonight. So there we go. I'm so glad you guys are here. Um, it is Candy Heart's Art Potato Party. So what we're doing tonight is I'm going to be coloring in some drawings that I made of potatoes, potato foods. So, like French fries, tater tots, mashed potatoes. Why am I doing this? Why the hell would someone do something like this? Well, my friends, I have been on a low carb diet pretty strictly for about a year now, and I miss potatoes. I do have them every now and again, but not nearly as much as I used to. And I decided, why don't we throw a little party for my favorite little guys? So I'm not sure if you can see my drawings here, but this is what we're going to work with tonight. Let's see if I can pull them closer. There you go. So in the middle, we have a little just raw potato with his party hat on. In the top right, we have some delicious freaking French fries. I miss French fries, guys. Oh my God. On the left side, we have a baked potato with a big pat of butter. My carnivore and keto friends out there are going to be excited about the butter. The bottom left, we have a little bag of potato chips with 3 little chips hanging out with faces. Everybody has a face, obviously, in my world. Bottom middle, we have a bowl of mashed potatoes. And then the bottom right, we have a couple of tater tots. So before we get started with that, I am going to be giving away something that I made. I had this brilliant idea. For those of you who are here and know of Grandma Barb's Crochet Corner chat, you may have seen me on Halloween, where I struggled to crochet a potato. Well, this isn't that potato, if you saw that live, but I decided to crochet a party potato, guys, and here he is. And I'm going to be giving him away. So he is up for a giveaway, basically. So I'm going to share a link in the chat. And if you want to click on the link, you can enter your info. And during the week, I'm going to make a drive-by live, which is my live recap. Basically, anybody who misses the live or doesn't have time to watch the whole replay, because I usually stick around for about an hour and a half, they will get to watch. I make these little shortened recap versions of my lives. So during that, I'm going to do the drawing for the potato. And he's a party potato, and I'm wondering what we should name him. I was thinking maybe Percy, the party potato, because I like alliteration and that's a lot of P's. But type in the chat what you think his name should be, the little party potato. And I'm going to, while you're doing that, I'm going to go get the link so that I can share it. It was supposed to share naturally, but why would it do that? Nothing else is working. Nothing else is working. No, it's not. That's not true. I shouldn't say that. Lots of stuff are working well. You guys can hear me. Everything's going really well. We're not freaking out about it. I'm really not freaking out, guys. I'm just chatting. I'm a chatter. I'm yammering away. All right. Percy. Mason likes Percy. Okay. Here is the link to enter to win Percy. So you just go, and I think you just put in your name and your email, and I will contact you via email if you win. So let me check out. I'm going to put him to the side so he doesn't get covered in marker and also doesn't get commandeered by my dog, because my dog loves a stuffed animal. My sister Emily can attest to this, because I just sent her a picture of a little monkey I gave him the other day, and he ate the arms and the legs off of it already. And are the arms and legs in my living room or on the floor somewhere? No, they're inside his body, waiting to be pooped out. So he's never had a problem with any kind of blockages before, but that's my dog. He likes to chew the arms and legs off of his little animals. So let's see what we have here, who we have here tonight. It says I've got 9 people watching so far. We've got Mike, who is Ancient Aliens. Welcome, Mason, my little Georgia Peach Mason. Grandma Barb is here. My sister Emily is here. My husband jumped in for a minute. He's at a tarot reading gig right now, but he promised me he would jump on to make sure they could hear me. My auntie Christine is here, and I think her husband Richie is also here, just not in the chat. And there's my sister Kara. And I think that's everybody for now. Thank you guys so much for coming. Yes, Emily, Mochi loves amputating toys. He also loves ripping the ears off, chewing the ears off as well. It's the cutest thing ever, and it keeps his teeth super clean. But I do wonder about about how it's all traveling through his little intestines, but that's not something to talk about during this live. Alrighty. So I probably should have put what that link is for, but that's okay. Everybody knows that the link is for the to enter the giveaway for Percy the party potato. My husband waved. Okay, great. So I think that was all the housekeeping. We're going to give away the potato. I showed you the drawings. I have some potato fun facts, guys. I have some potato fun facts. Let's do a potato fun fact. The first vegetable grown in space. In 1995, NASA and the University of Wisconsin-Madison grew potatoes aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia in partnership with the International Potato Center to study sustainable space food. Freaking imagine that, huh? Space potatoes. It sounds like something from like the Muppets or something, like Pigs in Space or something that Gonzo would be into, his freaky space potatoes or something. That's what I'm thinking anyway. All right, here we go. Today I'm working on a big old sheet of paper, which is better than the last time where it was kind of small. And since I'm having trouble with this program and I don't know what's going, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think I did anything wrong here. I think I went to use my printer and we have a crazy computer that doesn't like to talk to all of my stuff. So I think, and I have 2 of the same camera, and I think one of the cameras just got confused. So we're just going to let it be confused, and I'm going to stop dwelling on that. Hi, Patty Myers. Yeah, Pat Tater would be a good name as well. I like that. Okay, so this is a little scrap paper that I have. If you can see, I test all my markers on a little piece of paper first to make sure that they are going to be the color that I want. Oh, and I can, not that you can see this, but I can take off my glasses. I like to be on camera with my glasses on. I just think I look better with them, but I can't draw with them. So I was going to take them off after saying hi to everybody. But anyway, so here's my nice Ohuhu markers. If you saw that live and that recap, I'm loving these markers. I've been using them to make my husband's little lunch notes that I sneak into his bag throughout the week to cheer him up at work. And they've been working fabulously. In fact, I ordered a second set. So this set is 48 of like the main colors. It's called the Honolulu Bee set, and it's the fine tip and the brush tip. Well, I started playing with them and I decided there weren't enough like pale colors. They're all very rich, which I love, but I wanted some lighter colors. So they had a 48 marker pastel set that I just splurged on. And next Monday, we're doing another live and I'm going to swatch those and we're going to do a drawing. So let me know. I have no idea what to draw with them though. So let me know in the chat what you would like to see me draw next Monday on live. And also don't hold me to that because it might not be next Monday. It might not be next Monday. I'm hoping it's going to be next Monday, but we will see. Okay, so we have to start these potatoes. And first and foremost, I'm going to take my kneaded eraser and I'm going to do this because I want to lighten some of these lines a little bit. so that they don't shine through. So basically the kneaded, it's going to shake everything. The kneaded eraser is like a little glob of like silly putty, and you just roll it like this across, and you see how much it lightens just doing it like that. You don't really have to rub or anything. You just roll it. Yeah, just roll it. And let me not get carried away with the rolling, because what will happen then is I will lighten I will lighten the line, and then throw it across the room so that your dog can find it and eat the eraser later. I will get carried away and I will just erase, just because this is fun. This right here, this is fun. And I'll get carried away and I will erase the lines so much that I won't know where to put the color, because the lines will be gone. And I'm a pretty talented artist, my friends, but you know, even the most talented artists need some guidelines, need some lines, needs, you know, it's a myth, I think, and it's a myth that I had to overcome, that artists don't use reference photos, and that we're supposed to just sit down and be able to draw things from our memory, and that that's the mark of a true artist. I think a lot of us have that idea, and it's not true. Many artists use reference photos. They have to, you know, and not everybody can just sit down and go, I want to draw a kitty cat, and I remember exactly which way the cat's feet are facing, because cat legs are funky. Sort of animal legs are different. And if you haven't done a lot of anatomy studies for animals or even humans, you might not have that info in your head. So yeah, that's a little crazy ramble from me, as per usual. All right, so how's everybody doing tonight? How was everybody's weekend? How was everybody's Halloween? Did you guys do anything? Let me know in the chat. All right, so first and foremost, I want to color. We're going to call this potato Percy, even though, yeah, that's what we're going to call him, Percy, just like the crocheted potato. So let's find a good color that's similar to the color that I made Percy. So we're gonna, the actual crocheted potato. So we're gonna look at cinnamon and we're gonna look at caramel and see if these colors are good. That one's kind of good. Glad to hear it, Christine. I've missed you. I was talking to Richie earlier, telling him, let my auntie know I worry about her and I hope she's okay. This brown is actually called potato brown, but it's a little dark. That's not too bad. I think I'm going to hold that aside, and we're going to use that for the baked potato, but I think we're going to use this one for Percy, the raw potato, and then this one will be the darker potato after he's been baked. What do you guys think? Well, I'm going to just assume that you believe in me. You're going with me on this. So that's what we're going to do. All right, and then I'm going to pick out, well, we'll just start with that. Okay, let's get going here. Yeah, these markers are fabulous, but if you ever use alcohol ink markers, here's a few things to remember. The first time you start setting down the color, it's very dark. It looks like insanely dark, and if you're, you know, just coloring in a coloring book, that might not be that big of a deal to you. But if you're actually making an art piece and you're like, man, I chose this color specifically because, you know, it looked like this when I tested it out. Well, just give it a little bit. As it starts to dry, I just like to outline it first to show me where I'm going to color in. As it starts to dry, it lightens more. So I don't know if you know, when you first put it down, it looks quite dark. And then as it's been sitting here for a while, I don't know if you've noticed, but these have lightened up quite a bit. And that's just the nature of alcohol ink markers. So we're just going to go in and fill in Mr. Percy. And I'm not being perfect with this, guys. You know, I have a problem with perfectionism, and I worry so much about, oh my gosh, am I doing it right? Oh my goodness. And I am trying to break myself of this because who the hell needs it? um, why? Why would I do that to myself? Why wouldn't I just have fun? You know, there's part of me that sits here and goes, well, am I going to look like a real artist? Are people going to think I'm a real artist if they see me messing up? If this looks streaky, if it doesn't look perfect? You know what? Who cares? Nobody cares. What we're doing here is not about, defining true art. I don't think that that's something that can just be defined. Art is in really the eye of the beholder, the eye of the creator, as well. But what we're doing here is we're connecting, we're having fun. And also, it's a damn potato. He's lumpy, he's streaky, he's got all kinds of shit going on here. Sorry, I use some potty mouth language sometimes, but he's got all kinds of stuff going on here. We're not worrying about that. We're not worrying about anything. And if you're coloring along with me or you're making art right now too, don't you worry either. Don't you worry about anything right now. We're just having some fun. We're coloring a potato. We're coloring a potato. Let me look up real quick and see what's happening in the chat. Emily says, last live we talked about how people don't respect candy corn. Well, for the record, at 2 different grocery stores today, they had 0 leftover Halloween candy except candy corn. They had tons of it. It made me a little sad because I loved your cute drawing last time. Still didn't buy it though. Yep. I read a fun fact, I think on my Halloween video where it said that apparently candy corn rivals in third with Snickers bars, which no, I can't see how that's actually a thing. I could never choose candy corn over a Snickers bar. Um, but I'm gonna just go in with another layer here. But I guess you can't. I mean, who's taking these polls? I guess it's based on grocery sales. I don't know. Maybe people are buying it, but they're not actually eating it. They're just buying it for nostalgia and then they throw it out. All right, we're giving him another layer. Why not? Make him nice and dark. So another thing with these markers, and I'm finding that right now, is that as you go over again and again, you get deeper color. So you can control sort of how dark they look by how many times you go over. And that's really nice. And that's a good thing to keep in mind. I'm leaving his mouth white because I'm going to go in with some red and black and create a tongue and the basically the rest of his mouth, inside of his mouth, is going to be black. So this color is called cerise. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's Cerise. Guys, I can't wait to unbox the next set, the pastel set I was just talking about. I actually already have it in my possession and really wanted to pull it out for tonight. But I wanted to do a true unboxing where I use them for the first time on camera with you guys. So I'm exercising amazing restraint to not open my new markers until next week. And I had to do that with these ones because I did these on the live and I had them in my possession for about a week and I really wanted to play with them. All right, there's the little face with the little tongue. He's like, hello, hello, hello. All righty. All right. That is that. Says we got about 10 people watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's do his little eyes, shall we? Yeah, we'll do his eyes. He has 2 little closed upside down U eyes. Like he's just so happy. He is just ready to party. All right, let's give him a pink hat because Actually, I have stripes on this one, so let's color some stripes. Um, because that's what he is. The one I crocheted has a pink hat, but we're gonna change this Percy up a little bit. He's gonna have um, yellow stripes. Do we want light gold or do we want mustard? I like mustard better. I like mustard better. Okay. So let's go in. I'm not even checking to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Yes, you can. All right. You can see what I'm doing. Here's the yellow right here. And of course, at the end of, I think at the end of each one, I will put the outline in. I thought of just coloring it all in and then outlining at the end, but I think I will outline at the end of each individual drawing just to make it less chaotic and give me less. If I have to do all the line work at the end, that would get a little bit intense, y'all. A little bit crazy. Just a little bit nuts. Okay. Here we go. So what did I do for Halloween? We don't really do anything. My husband and I are 44 and we don't really dress up or do anything like that. I mean, the fact that we're 44 doesn't mean we can't dress up and do fun things. We just don't. He actually worked, I believe. So he didn't come home. No, I think he closed that night. So he was, sorry, brain fart. So we don't really do anything. We don't really give out candy. We don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters here. We don't dress up or anything. It's just another night for us. So what I did do was my good friend Barb over at Grandma's Crochet Corner on YouTube she goes live every night, if you can believe it, guys, for almost 5 hours, sometimes even more than that. Holy cow. And she invited me. I've been going almost every night to join her lives because it's a fun place to hang out. And there's a lot of awesome people that come in there. And I've made so many friends. And she invited me to come on her live. So I went on and I struggled with crocheting a potato. And I should have pulled out the other potato I made. Actually, this is pretty fun. I'm gonna take a minute to grab it real quick. I'm still mic'd up, so you guys will hear me as I move around. I think I have it over here. So I went on Barb's live, and I was on, you guys, for the whole 5 hours. And the first hour and a half, I struggled with making this other potato, but I decided I could do better. So I made a second potato. But I had so much fun on Barb's live, and everybody was so welcoming, and she's just a dear friend now. So I had just the best time, and I look forward to doing it again. I'm actually going to be on again this Saturday with Barb. So this was the other potato I crocheted, and there's nothing wrong with him, but his hat looks a bit like a sombrero or a witch's hat and less like a party hat. And I struggled so much with this fluffy yarn, like getting it started. If you watch the recap or the replay of Barb's live, you will see me struggling heartily with starting this little guy. So this was the other potato that I decided I was just going to keep as my little, I'm calling him Potato Olay because he he has a little sombrero hat. And maybe someday I'll give him away too, but I think it's important, not that he's truly a mistake, but I think it's important to show when, you have the best intentions and you make a good effort. But I was like, when I was done, I was like, this wasn't what I was envisioning. And I know I can do better, or I can get closer to what I wanted. So I decided to redo it. So I'm a little happier with Percy for the giveaway, but Potato Olay will always live in my heart. Emily, if you want the witch potato, you can have him. All right, let's see what everyone's saying. Mike says, art is like sports, it's all about the enjoyment. Absolutely, Mike. Wizard hat. It does look like a wizard hat. He's adorable. Thank you, Mason. It was a hilarious night. It was really fun. Kara says he's so cute, but I love Percy. They're deeply sweet. Thank you, sweetheart. For those of you in the chat that don't know, Emily and Kara are my loving and adorable baby sisters. They are both adult women, but they are we have a big age gap, and they are my sweet baby angels, and I love them, and they're always here to support me. So if I sound like I gush over them a little bit or we have inside jokes, it's because they're my baby sisters. Now I'm going in and lining. And again, we're not striving for perfection here. And why do I keep saying that? Because I have to keep freaking reminding myself that. I do this even when I'm not making art with other people watching me. I will sit here and go, oh my gosh, you screwed that up. How could you screw that up? And again, who the hell cares? Let's just have fun. Let's just have fun. When did we stop just having fun and letting ourselves have fun? So one thing I'm going to do, because it's easier for me and I'm all about ease, is I'm going to turn the paper because it makes it a little bit easier for me to do line work that way. But just bear with me. He'll be back right side up in just a moment. You just got to get his little outline in because it really brings it all together. Brings it all together. And you know what? He's a potato. So if I, fudge it up and he gets a few little lumps or like his color is a little dark in some places, yeah, that's what they look like, guys. That's what they look like at the store, right? I've seen some pretty funky potatoes at the store. And they get super funky once you bring them home and you put them in a dark place. Sometimes they grow stuff and you're just like, oh my gosh, what happened to my potatoes? Can I still eat this? And that's when you're Googling, can I still eat this potato that has green stuff growing out of it? Or do I have to plant it and grow crops now? Am I a farmer now? I have taken on too much by buying a 5-pound bag of potatoes. Again, I don't buy many potatoes these days because I am on a low carb diet. And I miss them, but I also feel the best I've ever felt in my life. So I got to listen to that and I got to be true to that. If I felt miserable without carbs, then I would certainly go running back into the loving arms of carbs because they're always there for me. They're there if I want to go back, but many health problems have led me to this era of my life, and I just feel like it's important to pay attention to what my body's telling me, and my body's telling me you're doing a good job with what you're doing. So I got to stick with that. But I do have occasional treats. Not too long ago, I did enjoy some French fries for the first time in a year, and they were freaking sublime. Oh my gosh, they were so good. All right. He's pretty cute, huh? There's our Percy. Okay. Yes. What should we do next? Little Latin TV. Sad potato. Not this potato. This potato's happy. Hello, Little Latin TV. Welcome. Let's see what everyone else is saying in the chat real quick. I want a baked potato so bad right now. I know I was thinking about them earlier and I was just like, oh, those are so good. Baked potatoes with all the fixins. Kara says, I'm still a baby angel at heart. No one needs to know I'm pushing 30. That's true, Kara. No one ever needs to know. Emily would like me to do the French fries next. I will do that. Christine seconds the French fries. Okay. Let's go for French fries. We will put these, I'm going to actually leave these here because I'll probably need those colors again eventually. So I'm thinking red for the the iconic red for the box, the potato box, because, you know, we all know who has a nice red box for their French fries. And then we need a nice yellow golden color for the actual fries themselves. So let's see. I'm wondering if that's too dark or if this is too light. Yeah, I think the first one is too dark. So we're just going to go yellow. Oh, here's another one. Let's check this one. I have this melon yellow. Melon yellow actually might be, this is a different set. Melon yellow might be very similar to the one I just tried, which was, who the heck knows which one that was. It was dark marigold. I think they're similar, but let's see. Oh yeah, that one's even darker. So we're going to leave that one over here. Maybe we'll use that for some tater tots because that looks nice and golden for the tater tots. But I think this one's good for the fries. What do you think? I think we're going to repeat a lot of colors here because you know what? When you cook a potato, they kind of turn into the same thing, right? Chips are very similar in color to French fries, to tater tots. I mean, they have their different like crispy, crunchy aspects, but they are kind of all does the same thing, right? Okay, so I need a red. I think that, let's check deep vermilion and see if that's a better red than, yeah, I think that's a, yeah, that's like, we'll just say the brand, McDonald's box red right there. We'll do that. Okay, so before I start that, let's do one more potato fun fact. There are over 4,000 varieties of potatoes. Most are native to the Andes of South America. Potatoes come in nearly every color: purple, red, yellow, blue, even black. I have never seen black potatoes. Comment in the chat if you've ever seen a freaking black potato, because I have not. I have seen all the other colors, never black. And each has its own unique flavor and texture. True enough. I believe it. I believe it. All right. Real quick, we're going to say enter to win Percy the crocheted potato. Party potato. Oop, I pressed enter too soon. You want to hit that link to win this guy. Oh, see, he looks cute next to his little picture. I mean, yeah, the hat's different, but maybe he's at a different party here, guys. He might be at a different party. And yeah, his mouth is open here. He's feeling different today than he is here. It's fine. It's totally fine. And I am going to add rosy cheeks later to him. Just not right now. Just not right now. So anyway, the link I just put into the chat, you can enter to win this little guy that we're calling Percy the Party Potato. And it's not going to ask you for any crazy information, just your email and your name so that I can contact you and get your address if you win. Okay. Let's start this box. Ooh, that's a nice red. Nice rich red. This is going to be interesting because I drew the little face that I drew for this French fry box has a smiley face with his little tongue is sticking out. And the reason why this is going to be interesting, and maybe you already know where I'm going with this, if I made the box red, what color can his tongue be? Maybe we'll make his tongue pink or something because because you're not going to be able to see it. You won't be able to see his tongue if I make it red like Percy's was. All right, let's fill this in. These markers, I am not sponsored. I am not sponsored by Ohuhu, but maybe someday I will be. And I love these markers. They're really nice, guys. I just, you know, just from, if you want a good solid marker, alcohol ink marker for coloring or any kind of artwork, go get these. They're worth it. The set is about, the 48 count set is about $44. And then I think if you wait for Prime Day, I got this set for $39, and which isn't a huge discount, but every little bit counts. And if you consider they're a 48 count set, that's, what is that, less, if you get them for $44, that's less than $1 per marker. That's not bad, guys, for a good quality marker. Um, I see a lot of art influencers and YouTube artists using these and making a lot of gorgeous art out of them. I want to start trying to use mine to make some landscapes and landscape studies. I think that would be really fun. Okay, there is our French fry box. How's everyone doing? Oh, let's see. Christine said, well, first Mike said, pushing an age is incorrect at my stage. It's like being a drug instead. Christine says, call them woohoo fries and then put a W on the box upside down from the golden arches. You're right, Christine. I will not make him truly identifiable as McDonald's. You know why? Because McDonald's doesn't need any free advertisement. They own the whole freaking world. They own the whole freaking world. We don't need to give them any free advertisement. I'm going to be honest with you. And if you're a fan of McDonald's, don't take this personally, but I'm at a stage in my life where even if McDonald's was to eventually, be interested in me or wanted me to, to sponsor me or something, which I don't even think they do that for artists. I've never seen that. I would not pimp their product. I'm not a fan anymore. And again, that is not a judgment on anybody who is a fan. I get it. I was a fan for a long time, but I'm not anymore. So we're not giving them any free advertisement, but we kind of are because we're making a very recognizable box of fries. Anyway, let's color these fries in. I think I did the right choice for this yellow. This yellow is called mustard. And it's just the right amount of golden delicious color. So yeah, eventually I will get all this tech stuff figured out, and I will actually, on the top tonight, what was supposed to happen was on the top right hand corner of the screen there would have been a little box that actually showed me, and you would have been able to see me, and I could have looked up every now and again and said hi to you. But honestly, you're not missing much because the angle of the camera that would have showed you me would just be showing you the top of my head right now. You'd just be seeing me looking down. I don't get to look up very often. And then when I do look up, I'm looking up at the other corner of the screen to look at the chat. So, but we'll get it all figured out. We'll figure out why my camera was not being recognized here, because I swear we did a practice run last night. My husband and I, he worked very hard to get it all set up and to explain it all to me. And then today we go for a nice long walk together and with the dog. And as we're walking, I'm like, all right, I need to go through it again. I need to make sure that I know how to do this. So he was very patient with me and he went through it with me again when we got home after we ate. And it was all set up fine. And I know that I didn't do anything wrong. But for some reason, when I went in to start it all up, it wouldn't identify the second camera. And rather than fuss with it and ruin the whole stream, I decided to just plow on, keep going. It could just be that maybe the computer or the program needed to be restarted, but that would have meant that I had to restart the whole stream, I think. I'm not quite sure. So I didn't want to go there. But we will figure it out and it will be awesome. Oh my goodness. Look. Thank you, Kara. Look what I did. I meant to reserve the space where his little tongue would be hanging out. I did not. I got so excited with the flowy motion of the red, and I was just like, let's fill it all in with the red. That totally didn't reserve that space. Why would I want to reserve that space? Why do you think I'd want to reserve that space? I will tell you. Because these don't layer very well. So if you had a lighter color, like let's say I went in first with the yellow and I wanted to do red over the red would show up. It might actually come out a bit more orangey because the yellow is beneath it, but you would still see the red. But if I tried to do yellow over this red, you would not see the yellow. You might see a darker line coming out on the red, but you would not see it be able to identify it as yellow. So I'm going to keep his little smiley face with the tongue, but I think I'm going to go in with a acrylic paint marker later, and we will make his little tongue happen with some mixed media, meaning that we're using all different kinds of crap here, guys. Not crap, fun stuff. All right, well, we're already almost an hour in, and I'm going pretty slow. You know what? I'm going to be here for as long as it takes me to do all of these. If you can't stick around, don't worry about it. There'll be a recap. It'll be up for a replay. So you can always watch later. For my sisters, please don't think I expect you to be here if I'm here for like 2 hours or whatever, but I am going to be here the whole time until I finish these. And I should probably get to it instead of just yammering away, don't you think? All right, let's outline these fries. I wish I could show it to you now, but it's tucked away. I once drew, if you guys know me at all, you know that I'm a fan of the pun, especially food puns. So I once drew a burger with a side of fries, and the burger is saying to the fries are saying to the burger, "Nice buns," and winking. And I wish I could show it to you now, but like I said, it's tucked away in my portfolio, but it's super cute. And I just love doing stuff like that. I do fine art too. I don't know. No, my most recent video, if you look at my most recent video, you'll see that I painted on shells and I painted seascapes on there. So you can see some of my seascape work on my latest video. My video before that was my Halloween video where I paint a cat coming out of a pumpkin. So I do, basically what I'm saying is I do paint things that are like, finer art style. But I love, 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 love this cute stuff. I love this cute stuff, guys. What is not to love, I don't understand people that don't like stuff like this. Why wouldn't you? You need more whimsy in your life. You need more joy. I think of when my sisters were babies. My sisters, Kara and Emily, are 11 years younger than me and 15 years younger than me. And when they were little, we would play the best games, and we would be out to dinner with our parents, and we would make the salt and pepper shakers talk, and the forks, and we'd make a whole little village out of the table waiting for our meals to come. And why not? Like, you need joy. You need joy. I mean, we were that, and that also kept them quiet when they were babies. It kept them from losing patience, because they, like the rest of us, were hungry and they wanted their little burger, their chicken nuggies. And it kept us happy. I don't really understand people who don't just find find joy in little things and, like, cute stuff and funny stuff, when they just look at that stuff and go, "Oh, that's for kids." Well, then I'm always going to be a kid. I will always want to be a bit of a kid, because this stuff is fun. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. One eye. And I think this is where the other eye goes. Definitely lost the face lines under. I went a little bit too light when I erased and got too excited there with the little rolling eraser, right? Like I said, and definitely lost my lines here, but that's okay. No problem, because I'm a professional, guys. No problem. I'm going to put that little face there, and then we're going to take this acrylic paint marker, which gives us this little pink color here, and we're going to put that there for the tongue. And yeah, that's a little light for a tongue. It's okay. It's okay. You can't quite, maybe that's the color of a tongue on a French fry box. He wouldn't have the same color tongue as his, in my world, he wouldn't have the same color tongue as his box, his fry box. All right. He also needs some eye highlights. I'm going to take a white gel pen and do that. And maybe we'll put a few little white highlights on the fries themselves, just to make them look even more like they're glistening. What else? Let's not overdo it here, but we'll do a few little things here. Shiny box. Just to show us that maybe the box is nice and shiny, like your average McDonald's box. Okay. There he is. Let's do a quick little layer of the tongue. Because I'm sure for you guys, you can't see it, but for me, the tongue is so almost see-through. So, and then I'm gonna, these pens are awesome. They're the Betem, B-E-T-E-M acrylic markers, and they're dual tip. So one tip is fat and one tip is quite thin. I got these on Amazon for, I think, 20 bucks, and they're really good. They're advertised as like a, for painting rocks and stuff, but I use them for all kinds of detail work. And I've, just this off-brand acrylic marker, and I'm actually really happy with them. There goes his little cheeks, and then let's give Percy his little cheeks as well. Acrylic will layer quite well over alcohol marker because they're a different medium, because acrylic has binders in it that allow it to be layered over the alcohol medium. Okay, let's move on to, let's do the mashed potatoes. Is it a potato party? It is a potato party, Angie. Welcome. All right, I think the bowl, I'd like the bowl to be blue. That's a very bright blue. How about this blue? Yeah, I like that blue. All right, we're going down here to the bowl of mashed potatoes. I'm also going to pull out my porcelain color. I don't know if you joined me for my unboxing of these markers. I discovered that this porcelain color makes a very good, it's a very, very pale gray, so it works really nicely for if you're trying to make like something white, because you don't really want to just leave the white of the paper. Sometimes you want to leave the white of the paper, but it can be a little stark. Sometimes you want something that's a bit tinted, and it does that quite nicely. When I was drawing the candy corn that I made in my last sorry, in my last live, the candy corn has a white stripe in it. And it actually worked really well in that white stripe to create the feeling like you were looking at white, but it didn't look so stark against the orange and the yellow stripe. Wow, that blue is so blue. So blue. It's pretty wild to do this because I'm essentially just sitting in my office, my studio, my dog's sleeping on the floor next to me, my cat sleeping on the chair behind me, and I'm talking to myself. But I'm not talking to myself because I'm talking to all of you. It says there's 9 people in here and I'm talking to all of you. So I'm not talking to myself, but it feels a bit like I'm talking to myself because I can't hear you. And so sometimes, because I'm so used to making art by myself, I forget. I mean, I know I haven't shut up this whole time, but I forget, like, oh, I can't just stop and start coloring. I have to keep talking because people are watching. So, yeah, that's my current little struggle there. But thank you so much to the 9 people that are watching right now, to everybody that's been chatting in the chat. I am so honored that you guys would take the time out of your night to come and hang out with me for something so silly. But you know what? Like I said before, we need a little silly, right? We need a little silly, a little relaxation. Also, Angie just came in, so let me take a minute to show Angie. Angie, I crocheted this little party potato, and his name is Percy, the party potato, and I am doing a giveaway. So I am about to share the link in the chat if you would like to enter into the giveaway. You can fill out this form and you will be entered into the giveaway. I think he's quite a handsome little gent. He's very excited to be here. All right. All right. So there's our mashed potato bowl. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's see. Let's check out this one. Oh no, I kind of, should I make the mashed potatoes that pale yellow, or should I use? This is real time artistic stuff here. Or should I use this gray? I'm gonna go with the pale yellow. Let's see how it looks. No big deal. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a bowl of something delicious, right? If it doesn't look like mashed potatoes, we'll call it ice cream, and we'll just be like, somehow this bowl of ice cream snuck into our potato party. We don't know what happened. We don't know how he got here, but he's delicious. This is another set of markers I have that I think I got these from Five Below, and you know, they're not bad for something that you would get from Five Below. This one, I like the pale yellow of this one, but it's actually starting to dry out a bit. So yeah, I will miss this one when it goes. But these are just the dual tip markers from Five Below. They have a chisel tip, which I'm not a big fan of chisel tip for some reason. And then they have the fine bullet tip. Angie says, Percy is so cute. She says, I want him. All right, definitely check out the link I posted and try to enter to win. You need to make friends for him, tater tots. I actually had to buy quite a bit of the yarn color to make him, so I can technically make another 5 Percys. So we'll see. I might end up making many, many more. Yep, they do look like good buttery mashed potatoes. That's right. You put a lot of butter in mashed potatoes. They look good and buttery. The gray would have been a little bit too You would have been like, those are sad mashed potatoes. I don't know if I want those mashed potatoes. Um, I forget what his eyes look like before I colored them. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We are moving on. Let's do the outline first. Do the outline first. All right. Let's outline the spuds. So, for those of you that celebrate Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is obviously around the corner, which I felt like potato party was also appropriate because of Thanksgiving being around the corner in the US. What is your favorite Thanksgiving food? Type it in the chat, please. I would love to hear it. I love so many foods. I love so many foods. Oh, Thanksgiving. My sister Emily is about to chime in any minute, I know, because she loves Thanksgiving and all the yummy Thanksgiving foods. She always has since she was a little bitty baby. And I am, even though I'm on a low carb diet, I'm making a exception this year, and I'm going to make a little bit of cornbread stuffing because once a year, I think that's okay. But yeah, let me know in the comments or in the chat what your favorite Thanksgiving food is. I always loved the desserts too, but I wasn't, it wasn't always about the desserts to me. It really was about, the pie and the mashed potatoes, the gravy, the stuffing, all that good stuff. You know what? I'm just going to go in and do another layer here. I really like how it's so darkly outlined. We're just going to fill that in. So Angie, I don't know if you've been here from the beginning. And if you, I forget what I was going to say. Oh no. Oh, if you were here at the beginning, I was talking about I'm going to be doing another unboxing of another set of these Ohuhu markers, the pastel version. You were asking me about these markers last time I finished my unboxing video. And I wanted to let you know there was going to be another unboxing video because I like them so much. So there you go. Does he look even? Does he look wonky? I think he's a little wonky there, but you know what? We're just going to let him be wonky. All right. We're going to look real quick and see what people said. Yes, buttered mashed potatoes. Tater tots are yummy. Yes, they are. Cranberry sauce. Mike, Ancient Aliens, your favorite Thanksgiving food is cranberry sauce? That's awesome. I love a good homemade cranberry sauce. Jojo, I know you love stuffing, my love, my husband. That's why we're having stuffing because we both love it so much. Emily says stuffing is my favorite because I never have it except the holidays, but potatoes and gravy are the best overall. Angela says pie. Sweet potato souffle, says Mason, and dressing in the South, Candy. Yes, my little Georgia peach. I know it. And then as soon as you said sweet potato souffle, I was like, that is a Southern thing right there. I want to go eat at your house, Mason. I would love a Southern Thanksgiving. I could use one. Um, turkey dinner. Yes, indeed. Delicious. Oh, so good. So good. All right. Let's keep it going here. So do you guys like the little stories I tell myself when like my art looks wonky and then I'm like, well, maybe I'm sitting here going, this bowl looks a little lopsided, but nobody can tell but me. Well, maybe it's that bowl that got put in the microwave too long or warped. And everyone had one, that Tupperware bowl, that bowl at grandma's house. That's what it is. It's just that it's that wonky bowl, but it's the perfect size to hold the mashed potatoes. We still love this bowl. We use it all the time. It's just a little wonky. It's a perfectly good bowl. Anyway, these are the stories. Bob Ross would be very proud of me because I tell all these little stories about my art. It's actually Halloween was Bob Ross of the Joy of Painting's birthday. So because his channel, he died in the 90s of cancer, but because his channel is going strong, his YouTube channel, they had a little birthday marathon for him. So there you go. It's been going. I don't think it's still going. Maybe it is. Maybe they're doing like a week-long birthday marathon, but okay. Let's give him a little face. He needs some little eyes. And then we're going to give him this interesting little, almost like a kitty face or bear face. Yeah. Yes. That is what I'm feeling for him. Or her. I say him a lot. I say him a lot when I make little things. I don't know why. It just happens. I don't know why. He needs his little rosy cheeks too. Yay! There's our mashed potatoes. All right, guys. Well, this is a little interesting, but I need to take a quick potty break. So I'm going to shut off my mic and you guys talk amongst yourselves for a moment in the chat. I'll be right back. Okay, I have returned. Sorry about that, guys. Clearly, I'm well hydrated today. Okay, so I'm very well hydrated. Hi, John. Welcome, John. Thank you so much for being here. John, I'm about to share a link in the chat. I made this little crocheted potato, John. His name is Percy the Party Potato. And John, I know that you're low carb, but you could enjoy a sweet little party potato. So I'm giving him away. You can enter to win by clicking on this, this link and filling out the form. And I will be announcing the winner on my drive-by live. During the week, there will be a live recap for people that missed this wonderful potato party. So that the winner will be announced during the drive-by live later this week. All right, what's next, guys? Tots, chips, baked potato. First one in the chat wins the next one. Emily, you should learn to crochet just so you can make all kinds of little cute, adorable. I mean, there's no limit to these adorable, ridiculous things you can make, you would have a pile of them and just be like, when does it stop? And then you'd have to pile them all around Gilberto, and be like, what, where is Gil? He's amongst them. Gil is Emily's new dog, a little Shih Tzu, right? He's a Shih Tzu, a little black Shih Tzu who's just the light of everybody's life. Mason says tater tots. Of course, my dear, we will do the tater tots. All right. Now, I drew some of these tater tots already. If any of you saw my, I do little lunch notes for my husband. And I've made little reels out of them. So I've done some of them, and now I'm trying to remember what I used for them. What colors? What colors did I use? You know what? I have them. I have it. I'm mic'd up and I'm walking through my apartment, guys. All right, because I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this other thing too. So I'm gonna grab it, and then I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna grab this as well. Oh my goodness, I'm showing you everything. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me. Mochi's like, why are you running around? Okay, I'm back. Could you hear me that whole time when I was in my living room? That's pretty crazy. Okay, so these were the tater tots that I made for my husband, and that actually, I had so much fun making these tater tots that it inspired this whole potato party, as well as missing carbs, but just how much fun I had making these tots. This is also a little pug-tato that I made for Joe a few years ago. It's a little potato pug. I made him green just because it's fun. And then this was another lunch card I made for Joe, and it's called The Pugtato of Prosperity and His Nuggets of Wisdom. I had to show you that. I meant to have them by my side when I started, but clearly I was ill prepared. What colors did I use for this? Potato brown. I think cinnamon. I think we used some of the cinnamon for that. Some yellow. And then some of the caramel. All right, that's what we're going to say. These three. That's what we're doing. We're going to go in with the yellow first. Oh, let me check out these. Let me check out these comments, because I see Grandma saying some lovely stuff. Tater tots. Gil in a pile of potatoes is an iconic idea. It truly is, Emily. Mason says, oh, how precious. Love those notes you create for hubby. Thank you. He loves them too. He loves them too, and I love making them. And actually, not that it has anything to do with it, but the videos that I've been making for these little guys have been actually doing really well. So it's nice to see other people appreciating them too, because I think they're fun. Let's see. So many of my favorite people in the same place, says Grandma Barb. I know, Barb. Isn't it fun? Wow, it says I have 14 in here now. I'm sorry, Grandma Barb. I may run into your live time tonight, but I will be there when I am done here, because clearly I am dragging tonight, but that's fine. No problem. It's a party. It's a party. It's a potato party. Grandma, we love you. Hello, Grandma, says John. Grandma Barb, you have brought all these wonderful people into my life, and look at them all here supporting me. I don't know that I would, other than my family, I would not have many people here if I hadn't met a bunch of people in your lives. So you have truly changed my life, Barb. I'm telling you that every single day, but until you believe it, but it is the truth. You have brought a lot of wonderful things to my life, and I'm very grateful for you. And I can't wait to go on live with you on Saturday. Grandma says, and we all love Candi. Oh, you're so sweet. So much love. So much love. Okay. Angela says, I have no idea what you just said. No idea what I just said? What did I say? What did I say? I don't remember. All right. All right. Let's go on to the tots. That's what Mason requested, and Mason gets what she asked for. Mason, I was thinking about this earlier. I have to give a little shout out to Mason because Mason is the person that I've never met her in person. I don't know what she looks like, but I feel like we would be very good friends in person. And she's that person that if we were at a party together and someone said something weird or did something weird, she would be the one that if I looked up, she would already be looking at me like, do you see this shit going on here? She would look at me like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? I feel like she is a little sass queen. She's a sassy queen. And she would be right there like, hey, I saw something messed up. Did you see it? And I would be like, yes, queen, I saw it. We have that bond, that vibe, I think, in grandma's chat. We're always like, hey, something interesting happened here. Although grandma's chat is all love. Grandma Barb's chat is all love. But once in a while, something a little silly will happen, and I can always count on Mason to say something sassy or to be like, to catch something, and I'll just be like, yep, I was thinking the exact same thing in that moment. We would be buds. I would take them down, then bless their heart. Yes, Mason. I just feel like we would make that eye contact, even if they weren't being, even if they didn't need to be taken down. We would just look at each other and say, oh, this person is trying my patience. This person needs a prayer. This person needs something. We would have a comment about it, but just with our eyes. Just with our eyes. Ancient Aliens Mike enjoys that. All right, so these are already looking quite tater tot-y. Tater totty? Tater totty. Just with the light gold color. But I feel like this is even more tater totty. So we're going to go in with, I'm not going to overthink this too much. The burnt sienna is too dark, isn't it? Yeah. Burnt sienna is too dark. So we're going to go in with, yeah, we're going to go in with the cinnamon color, which is going to give us some crispy brown. And what's fun about this part is think about a tater tot. You know, think about it if you, I mean, we've all eaten a tater tot, right? Think about the texture of a tater tot and what they look like. They're all bumpy. It's almost like, how are they holding themselves together? So I want some of this yellow color to shine through. I don't want to go in completely with the brown and cover it all up. If you can see with this one, I think it's really cool that it has kind of some lighter yellow flecks in there because it gives us this sense that it's textured, that it's bumpy. And that's, you know, really what you kind of get with the tater tot. They're kind of smooth, but there's also a lot of texture going on in there. So I'm going to go in with a very textured kind of, almost like I'm making curly hair or something happen here. And we're going to get this crunchy situation happening here, this tater tot action. Yeah, that makes me happy. That is reading tater tot to me, I think. You can go in there and make some spots a little more brown, a little less brown. Once you put the darker brown down, you can't take it back up. So you got to sort of go in with a lighter hand and then go in and do some more. It's a hard lesson to learn with some of these mediums. I typically paint with acrylic. I have my Auntie Christine, who is here tonight, I think she's still here, paints in watercolor, and she will tell you, watercolor, you have to really, doesn't layer the way acrylic does. Acrylic paint layers, and you can just you know, paint your first layer and then paint over it. And then if you have to paint over that, you can paint over that. When you're doing translucent mediums like watercolor, and this is a fairly translucent medium, you have to do your lightest color first and then go darker. And you have to be very sparing and know exactly where you want to put your darks, because right after you put them down, you're not getting it back up. You're never getting that white space back. There are little tips and tricks, and you could go in with white acrylic paint and try to, or gouache, and try to, gouache is a more opaque kind of form of watercolor. It's its own thing, but it's similar to watercolor. But once you lose that white space, you've lost it. You know, you never truly get that pristine white paper back. So you have to have some reservation, and it can be tricky. And that's a little art lesson. That's a little random art lesson for me. I have watercolors. I've dabbled in watercolors. I've done some oils. I mainly do acrylic, and I obviously play with these markers. I do colored pencils. I mainly do acrylic because of the ease of it. It's so easy to clean up. You just need water and soap and water to clean your brushes. I love the look of oil. Oil is lustrous and beautiful, but you need solvents. I mean, they do have water soluble oils, but you need, if you're using regular oil, you need solvents and oils and special ways of cleaning your brushes and jars to seal all this stuff up in. And then you've got to strain the stuff that cleans your brushes, and it gets to be a lot. When I'm done painting, I just want to clean up and throw it all aside and not think about it. So that is what's kept me from doing more oil painting. Laziness, my friends. Laziness. Let's see. Let's look real quick at the chat. Oh, thank you, honey. My honey bunny said he had to go, but he said I'm doing great. Thank you, my love. I think about tater tots too much, to be honest, says Emily. I believe it. I believe it. I've been thinking about them a lot too since I've drawn them, and I'm just like, so yummy, so squishy and crispy and good. That was from a long time ago. Christine says, going nighty night. Bye bye, taters. Bye, Auntie Christine. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's, these guys are a little smaller, so I think I'm just going to do their eyes. Oh, wait. We're going to go in with a slightly darker color and just do a little bit more detail work here. Just a little bit, just a little bit. A little bit more depth, a little bit more texture. Extra crispy, extra crispy. Extra crispy, extra crispy. All right. I used to be a big fan. I think it's a Sanrio character, which is a Japanese company. I believe, yeah, they do Hello Kitty, but they have all kinds of other characters. And there used to be this character, I think his name was Shokupan, and he was the dark bread. It's a silly story, and it feels like a story that I would tell with my art, but he's the bread that got stuck in the back of the oven. So he got a little bit too dark. And so he's got a much more realistic and not grim, but he's much more of a realist. And then there are these nice soft milk breads that are like they were just in the oven for the right amount of time. They've known no hardship, and they're like the soft sweet breads, and they they come to him for advice, and he's just like, well, young bread, you must do this and life is hard, and he gives them the hard lessons, and he drinks milk like as if it's whiskey or beer, like to get a buzz going, and it's just really adorable and fun. I should look up Shokupan. I haven't watched any of the, or looked. It's not a show. It's just a little cartoon character. I don't know that they actually had like a comic strip, um, but they do make little storylines behind their characters, and he was my favorite. And then they had the burnt breads that were way more grim than him because they had been burnt and left in the oven way too long, and so they had much more grim outlook on life, which is kind of an interesting, you know, it's an interesting perspective on how people end up developing the way they look at life, you know? All from some silly little Japanese cartoon characters. I like some deep stuff in my cuteness, you know? Why not? I like a message. I love Japanese stuff. I was trying to learn Japanese for a while using Duolingo, which honestly I think is better for other languages, not great for learning Japanese. Japanese is a really hard language to learn. And yet I learned quite a bit in the sense that, like, I know more than I thought. My husband and I recently went and saw a Japanese movie, and I was actually surprised at how many of the words I was picking up. And I was like, wow, I did learn a lot from from Duolingo. Could I have a conversation with you? Hell no. Could I even, say a full sentence that was more than what a, preschooler could tell you, or even a three, oh, I guess a 3-year-old is a preschooler. No, I could not. I think Japanese preschoolers can probably speak Japanese way better than I can. But I do know a few Japanese words, and that makes me very, very happy. I often tell my husband I kind of want to do a past life reading because I think I might have been Japanese in a past life. We'll see. We'll see. All right, we're doing the little faces, and I'm using my little trusty liner pen to do the eyes on these guys because their eyes are a little bit smaller. And this one has a little tongue sticking out. And because the brown is a bit lighter, we can go in with the red and make his little tongue that's sticking out. Little happy tongue. Gonna do some eye highlights. And we're gonna do a little bit of white highlight here. Just wherever, because these things, they're bumpy and they're not like all uniform, and it can be whatever it is. There's our tater tots. They're so cute. Here's the thing. When I'm in the middle of making art, when I'm looking down at it, when I'm actually doing it, it's hard for me to actually see how it's coming out. I'm often like, oh, does this look like crap? I can't really tell. And then I actually will be looking right at it, and I have to take a picture of it. And once I take a picture of it and look at the picture, I'm like, oh no, this is actually coming out quite good. So this is kind of fun because I can look up and see it on the screen. And then it gives me a different perspective. It's a weird, weird optical thing. I'm not sure what it is. I've heard a lot of other artists talk about it, but I can look up on my screen and see what I'm actually streaming, and I can see they look very cute. Yay! Okay, little cheeks. These cheeks are not going to show up very well, are they? It almost looks like nothing. Well, good enough, I suppose. Good enough. You'll have to get real close. You have to get real close to see. Let's see. Oh no, see? If you get close, you can see. They got little rosy cheeks, you see? All right, there you go. Let's move on to the next one. All right. now that we're done with these, we can move you to the side. We've got 12 people watching. Thank you, 12 people. Auntie Christine went to bed. Jojo came back. You might have a reading soon. I hope you do. Patty, thank you so much. I think they're coming out pretty cute as well. Thank you, Mason. Mike says, it's awesome how you can bring out their expressions. Yeah, isn't it cool how just a few little lines actually tie it all together? It's like it turns a little blob of brown into a smiling tater tot just by adding a few circles and a line, and then a few white highlights in the eyes makes him look friendly. It's wild. Every single time I'm just like, oh my gosh, it all just came together. Let's do another potato fact real quick. You can power a clock with a potato. Stick a zinc and copper electrode into a potato and you've got yourself a tiny battery. The potato's natural acids conduct electricity, not enough to charge your phone, but perfect for a science fair. I actually did that for my, I think I was 16, junior year. I did a potato clock. And for some reason, the teacher lended me and my partner for the science project this potato clock, and for some reason, I don't know, we had an extra powerful potato or something, but it like shorted out the clock and the clock broke. And she ended up like cornering me one day and she's like, you broke my potato clock. And I was like, I literally just plugged in the electrodes into the potato like the instructions said. I didn't do anything. Maybe it was a super powerful potato. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. I didn't do it. Yeah, that was interesting. Interesting times. All right. We're going to go in with this, what is this one called? Potato brown. Potato brown. All right. We're going to go in with, yeah, Mason, she was a trip. We're going to go in with this potato brown and we're going to make this baked potato. Crispy potato skin here. Oh, potato skins. I mean, potato skins are not that far off from baked potatoes. I mean, they kind of, I think they are fried, aren't they? I mean, when you get them from a restaurant, don't they fry the shell a bit? Good potato skin kind of drooling here. A good potato skin kind of is the the best of both worlds when it comes to like potato products, because you get that baked potato feel, but you also get the crispiness, and then it gets all the stuff on top. Oof, I need a snack after this, guys. I need a snack after this. Yep. You know, you used to have really good potato skins is TGI Fridays. But I haven't been to a TGI Fridays in years, and I don't know if they've gone downhill. I imagine they have, just like I feel like most restaurants have kind of gone downhill. I don't really enjoy eating out at most places, not to sound snobby or full of myself, but I got really good at cooking. And then every time I went out, I just found that like most of the places didn't really cook things to my standards. And I started to realize it was because the quality of the food started to go down as well. Um, and I feel like once a restaurant, like a major chain, starts having their foods in the frozen food section at the grocery store, the food at the restaurant goes downhill too. Am I imagining this? Is anyone else experiencing this as well? Has anyone tried PF Chang's frozen dinners, like, or frozen stuff? They're not at all good compared to like what you can actually eat at PF Chang's. I remember, and Joe can attest to this, we once got some like chicken, some frozen chicken with the PF Chang's name on it from the fruit freezer section. And it tasted nothing like anything you would have gotten from PF Chang's. And I'm like, well, how do you put the name of the restaurant on it if it doesn't taste anything like what you can get at the damn restaurant? Am I missing something here? But anyway, I know that you can buy, and I used to buy them, the potato skins from TGI Fridays, and the mozzarella sticks and like jalapeno poppers from them in the frozen food sections. And I used to get them, and I used to get them more out of nostalgia because TGI Fridays was so that place that we went to, at least me and my friend group as kids went to. That was the first restaurant we really hung out at and went to, like, as teenagers, like without our parents, and it was this whole thing. um it was this casual place that we could go, but like it was still sit down and you had to tip and all of that. And um I remember spending a lot of actual Fridays and Saturdays at TGI Fridays. um so eating that frozen food from TGI Fridays was always more nostalgia for me than anything else. And then after a while, I was like, this is not as good. It's not as good as it once was. I'm going to, in a minute, look at the comments when I'm done filling in the second layer of this potato to see, or the chat, to see what you all are saying in response to my blathering here. I'm getting some streakiness here, but you know what? Again, it's a potato. It's a potato. It's a potato, and it's got blemishes and all kinds of things going on. So just going to finish filling in this brown, and I'm going to check in with the chat. That's a good brown for a nice baked potato, don't you think? All right. Let's see. Mike says it's awesome. Oh, yes, you said I read that. Mason says yes. Yes, Emily agrees with me. They're god awful, inedible compared to the restaurant. Yeah, it's really wild. I don't understand how they get away with that. Like, I remember distinctly getting this bag of some kind of, Asian inspired chicken from PF Chang's, and it was just spongy and gross. It just was not good. And I was like, I haven't eaten at PF Chang's in years. The few times that I did eat there, it was better than this. So what on earth makes them make this subpar product and put it out into the world and tell us that it's the same thing that they're serving at the restaurant? Because that's the whole reason why it has the name of the restaurant on there, right, guys? I mean, that's because you're ostensibly getting what you would be getting at the restaurant. So it always baffled me. I was like, this is clearly, I mean, it doesn't baffle me that much because I understand that it's all a money game and they just are making their money. And it doesn't matter what it tastes like if people buy it, right? They don't really care if it is the same experience that they're getting at the restaurant. And maybe people are just so into the name that they're telling themselves they are experiencing the same thing they're experiencing at the restaurant. I don't know. I just remember being really disappointed and being like, I'll never buy this again. I can't believe I wasted money on it. I feel nauseous from having eaten it, and I'm really disappointed that this doesn't taste anything like, I think it was like orange chicken or something, and it was just the grossest orange chicken I had ever experienced. It was really bad. All right, here's this lovely pat of butter. We're going to give him a little bit of shading on the side there, so it looks like it's more of a square pat of butter, a rectangular pat of butter. There you go. Yeah, that light, I'm so glad I found that light one because it really does look good as like buttery, creamy mashed potatoes or baked potato. Alrighty. What face did we give you? He had a winky face. Winky face. He had a big circle eye here. And upside down U eye here for the winking. And let's just say a regular smile. Regular smile. He needs his little highlights. Oh, and let's go and outline it, and be sure not to mess up those eye highlights before they dry. Doesn't take very long for that white pen to dry. Emily, you said you were using some milky pens tonight, which I think are similar to what I have. Are the milky pens Sakura Jelly Roll brand? Because that's the white pen that I use for the eyes is that brand, and I love those. I used to love those when I was a teenager. I'd buy them and use them for taking notes in school, even though they're kind of impractical for that. But I always loved a good set of colored pens to take notes that I was that I was never going to look at. I use them more for writing silly notes to my friends when I should have been paying attention in class, I guess. Which I wonder, are kids still doing that? Do kids still send notes to each other? Or is it all just text? I wonder if kids are still passing notes in class. I doubt it. That makes me sad. That was so fun doing that when we were kids. Trying not to get caught, figuring out a way to cough and drop your note across the floor because it was just vital. It was so vital for your friend to get this message, this silly little message before your next class or whatever, and you weren't going to have time. You couldn't just wait till the end of the class and pass it to them. They had to know now. All right, pinky cheeks, pink party cheeks. Okay. Yes, Mason, I agree. They are totally missing out, I think. There's something really, really fun about just sitting there, and I would make some wild notes and draw all kinds of things. It was fun. It was so fun. You're right, Mike. They're buying the name, not the quality, and that's silly to me, because what's in the name if it doesn't taste good? Yeah, I don't know if how much kids are writing by hand anymore either. Interesting stuff. I just don't know. What do you guys think? I'm thinking I'm going to make the actual potato chips themselves the same color as the French fries. I think that's a good call. They can be a nice bright yellow. But what color should I make the bag? Let's see. Let's make it this bright blue. All right, now I'm just gonna make this a silly blue. I mean, I guess it's not silly. It's just a bright blue bag of chips. Bright blue. What's it called? Cotton candy blue. So, what's everybody's favorite chip? I don't know if I've ever really met a chip I didn't like. I loved all kinds of chips, tortilla chips, Doritos. I liked pretzels, potato chips. Um, when I was younger, I was really into Cool Ranch Doritos. That was always my go-to. Um, yeah, Cool Ranch Doritos are my favorite when I was younger. You really just can't beat it, you know? There's, when you're on a carnivore diet, especially, and trying not to, I'm trying to do mostly carnivore. Um, you miss that crunch a lot, except for, pork rinds. Pork rinds, you can definitely get the crunch. Um, and I'm still eating some nuts. But I find sometimes I really miss that like potato chip crunch. I also love a place that'll do like homemade potato chips, like in-house, like homemade chips. Can't beat it. So good. But I feel pretty blessed to be in a place where I can like reminisce about food and I can talk about all these foods all night with you guys. But I'm not going to like run out and eat all of these things tonight. And not that if you are eating these things, please don't get me wrong. This is not bad. This is, again, for my health. This is a choice I've made for my own my own health journey and for where I am right now. So I don't judge you at all, but it's important for me to stick to this. And I used to have some food addiction issues. So being able to be in a place where I can engage with these foods and not immediately need to consume them is a huge win for me. So I think that's a pretty good way to explain that. Yeah, so it's nice to be in that place. I think I'm gonna, all right, we're gonna see if this works because I wanted to leave the letters that say chips on the bag white, and I was just gonna use the white of the paper. Um, but we'll see if I can properly outline them with these. Well, that seemed to have worked. All right, so we are going to fill this in with the red. So if you're still here, oh, it says that there's 12 watching. Thank you, everybody who's here. Um, so are you into coloring or any kind of art? If you are, let me know in the chat what kind of stuff you get into. I'm a self-taught artist, and for many, many years, I was very creative, but I didn't really paint. And then about 10 or 11 years ago, I started learning how to paint via YouTube and really started to take my art more seriously and really hone my skills. So I'm mostly I'm totally self-taught. I never went to school for any of this. I did have art classes in high school. Um, Actually, like 3 years of high school, I had art. Um, but I like all of it. And I love to hear where people are on their own art journeys because I believe that um, humans all have like a creative spirit and we all want to be creating something, even if it's not with pens and pencils and markers and um, paint. You know, the whole world that we see around us was created basically out of nothing by humans. So we are creators. So I like to hear what people are into creating. Even if all you're into creating is just, a safe place or a good vibe. Those are all valid things as well. All right, let's chat real quick. Keyboard warriors nowadays. Yes, they are, Mike. Let's see. Trader Joe's has good orange chicken. Yes, I remember that, Angela. They do have good orange chicken. Trader Joe's has really good frozen options. Um, but wild that like Trader Joe's would have a better version of orange chicken than, you know, a whole Asian restaurant, Asian inspired restaurant. Grandma Barb, BBQ addict. I know this about you, Barb, and I love this about you. Barbecue chips are divine, and barbecue flavoring. Um, thank you, Mason. I think this will be the best color for the chips. I even like puffed Cheetos and throwback Funyuns. Oh, Mason, Funyuns was also a go-to for me in my teens, especially. I really clearly I like those like pungent, not really pungent. Yeah, I guess pungent flavors. The Cool Ranch and the Funyuns. Didn't worry about my. Well, we all carried around Altoids back then anyway, so you just knock out any bad breath with those crazy mints. Mike says he is a cruncher. He can destroy a bag with no thought. Um, Angie says, I have a chip addiction. I think that runs in the family. Chocolate chip too. Chocolate addiction. Yeah, me too, Angie. Me too. Mason says, my beloved grandmother taught me to paint, crochet, and bake yummy things. That's beautiful, Mason. I had wonderful grandmothers who taught me many wonderful things. My Nana Betty passed away when I was 18, but she was, I mean, we were together all the time. I think my first days were spent with her, and she taught me so much. And then my grandmothers were a big part of my life. My great grandmother as well. On my mother's side, my maternal great grandmother was around and kicking until she was 103, 104. So very much matriarchal family, very maternal family. And, I feel bad. I would meet friends and new people, and they'd be like, I barely know my grandparents. I barely know my grandma. And I'd be like, oh my God, what's that like? Like, my grandma and I are best friends. Like, we have sleepovers every week, and I was at her house every day. And she would record movies for me and be like, you're going to love this. And she'd watch these old movies with me. She loved movies, and she would record she had all the movie stations, and she'd take out her VHSs, and I recorded another great movie. We're going to watch it tonight. Okay, okay, Nana. And she'd pull out her bag of snacks. She usually had some chips or something squirreled away. And we would have a good time laughing and getting chubby. And boy, do I miss her. Almost, how many years is that? If I was 18, I'm 44 now. Good Lord, I'm 44, guys. When did that happen? So what is that, like 26 years since she passed? Wow. Such a long time. But you know what? What a blessing. What a blessing to have had her. Like I said, so many friends who were just like, why are you so close to your grandma? I'm just like, because she's an awesome lady. Why aren't you close to your grandma? I feel bad for you. Like my husband wasn't particularly close to his grandparents. He saw them quite a bit here and there. Um, you know, they lived in the same state, and he saw them, but they definitely, my grandparents took care of me a lot. They were responsible for a lot of my care, and you know, I think it taught me a lot. You get some perspective on different generation and different way of looking at things. Look at these chips. They're so cute. They're so cute. All right, let's try to line the word chips without screwing it up. Sometimes the best way to do it is just to blast through it. Sometimes I worry too much and I'm like, I don't want to screw this up. This is so important. And then the slower I go, the more I worry about screwing it up, the more I guarantee that I'm going to screw it up. Also, just abandoning the idea that there's anything to screw up. I mean, a line out of place is not a screw up. It just shows that you're a human being, which is going to be more and more valued as AI art starts infiltrating the scene more and more. People are going to be looking for those details that are distinctly human mistakes rather than AI mistakes, like, you know, adding extra limbs and fingers and other weird shit. All right, here we go. Little potato faces, little potato chip faces. Imagine all the different faces on the chips in the bag. I feel like that would be overdoing it a bit, so I just wanted to give these three a few faces. But if I gave them all faces, it would look quite crowded in there. You might think there was some kind of orgy going on, and that's not the vibe that we're going for here. This is a family friendly time. Carnivore Helix. Hi, Helix. I fell asleep at 6 p.m. Did not mean to. What year it is? Is it? Yeah. You had a good old nap. Well, I've been on for 2 hours. Helix, I did not mean to go on this long. I really value all 8 of you that are still watching. Oh, Helix, I wanted to give you an opportunity. I know that you're a carnivore, but I made this party potato. His name is Percy, and I am doing a giveaway. So you can enter to win this party potato. I'm going to paste a link into the chat right now, and please feel free to fill it out and enter to win. The winner is going to be announced on my drive-by live, the live recap, sometime this week. I don't know exactly what day that's going to be up, but I'm hoping for Wednesday, and that's when the winner will be announced. So please fill that out. Well, this would be, Helix, this would be a good way for you to still have a potato you could love, even though you can't eat them. I don't know, maybe your kid would want it too. Anyway, if you want to enter the giveaway, there's the link. Please, guys, let me know too, has that link been working? Have you guys filled it out? I hope it's working properly. Who messaged me? Nobody messaged me. It is my, we have, what do you call it? Garbage alert. So just letting me know that it's garbage day tomorrow, guys. Garbage day tomorrow in Loveland, Colorado. Let's give the little guys some cheeks. Little cheeks. Let's give the bag some rosy cheeks. And then we're going to add some white highlights. And then I think we're just about finished with these. Let me just be a little anal retentive here. We're going to just be a little bit and clean up some edges here just because, you know what, I have to reel in my perfectionism, but I also have to like let it come out sometimes and play, because if you just squash things like that away all the time, if you don't sit down and have tea with your demons every now and again, guys, they take over. They take over. If I could give any advice to anybody, if you wanted any advice, sit down every now and again and invite your demons to tea. Let them know that you hear them, and you know, let them know that you're in charge and that They don't run the show, but let them have space to exist, because the more you squash them down and tell them they don't have a right to exist, the more they rear their ugly heads when you least expect it, when you're like, hey, I need to be functioning right now. I need to be at my very best. And then all of a sudden, struggle. And I don't know, maybe that doesn't make sense to anybody else but me, but that's how I feel. So we're going to put a few little highlights on that bowl to make it look a little shiny. Oh, let's put some highlights on the butter. The butter needs some highlights. Yeah, nice shiny butter. And the chip bag is shiny, right? This is usually like a foily sort of chip bag. Just all kinds of stuff, just to give us the idea that some other stuff is happening here. Little highlights. The chips are crispy. They've got some little white highlights here, but we're not gonna rub that one off. That's what happens. You rub your hand over it and you rub it off. I'm not gonna overthink it too much. Just kind of throw some stuff on there. I think that's pretty much what that is gonna look like. That looks pretty good to me. Let me know in the chat if I have missed anything, if you're seeing anything that I haven't filled in here. Sometimes I miss things because I'm looking so closely at it that I skip something. So if you're seeing like, you didn't add highlight to this eye, or, oh, I just found something. The little chips don't have eye highlights. So let's get a little, just one of my pens just flew away out of the, it wanted to go hang out behind the desk. So I will have to go get that pen later. We're going to let him have his vacation behind the desk for a little while. That's fine. Maybe, who am I? Who am I to tell him he can't travel? All right. Little tiny pen, the little tiny, you can't even see these. I'm going to hold them up and we'll see if you can even see them. The little tiny white highlights in the potato eyes. To see? There you go. You can see them now. All right. Well, you guys, you stuck with me for the whole 2 hours or more. This was incredible. Thank you so much. I had so much fun having this silly potato party with you. Let's do one more potato fun fact before we wrap it up for the night, and then I will check in with the chat again. Potatoes were once feared in Europe. When introduced in the 1500s, some Europeans thought potatoes caused leprosy and sterility because they grew underground and weren't in the Bible. Eventually, they became staples. Wow. I did fact check these, so that is apparently true. But imagine a time when potatoes weren't a thing, like weren't popular or weren't even a thing. That's crazy. I wonder if they were introduced because somebody went to like South America where they were more popular. I don't know. Anyway, there is a World Potato Congress, a real international conference founded in 1993, celebrating all things potato, farming, science, and the art of tuber appreciation. The most recent one was held in Dublin, Ireland in 2022. Well, who is surprised that a World Potato Conference would have been held in Ireland? Raise your hand if you were surprised by that, because I am not at all. And I'm going to judge you. No, I'm not. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. Mr. Potato Head made TV history. Released in 1952 by Hasbro, it was the first toy advertised directly to children on television. Originally, it came with just the plastic parts. You had to supply your own potato. French fries might actually be Belgian. Belgians were frying potatoes long before French fries became a term. American soldiers in World War I, stationed in Francophone Belgium, were thought to have coined the misleading name. And those are the rest of the potato facts that I had. All right, one last call. There's only 9 in here, so I'm sure everybody already got the message. But in case anybody's watching the replay, the giveaway is going on. You can enter, sorry, I'm not saying this right. You can enter the giveaway until midnight tomorrow. So, midnight Tuesday, the 4th, you can enter the giveaway for Percy the party potato. He could be yours. This little guy could be in your house and like just sitting right next to you, hanging out, like eating snacks. I mean, come on, look, he's ready. He's ready to go home with you. So, handmade by me with love. I would love to see you win this. So I'm gonna one more time post the link to win Percy. Enter to win Percy the party potato. I have a lot of stuff to work on, guys. For those of you that come into Grandma Barb's chat, I had thought I set up my Nightbot, and it was supposed to put these little Percy posts, enter to win every 15 minutes or every 10 minutes. It did not do that. I was also, for those who came late, there was supposed to be a second camera on my face. That didn't happen, but I'm working on it. And the only reason I'm telling you guys is because, we have to work through our troubles together. So at some point, this is going to get a lot cooler. You're going to be able to see my face. Like when I'm talking right now, I would switch the camera to my face and then we would chat a bit face to face. But for now, I think we're doing pretty good. Here is our amazing potato party. I'm pretty proud of it. I should sign it. Let me sign. I'm just going to do a little itty bitty heart with a C in the corner, which is my signature. I will show you. Hi, Thomas, Target Prime Rib. Thank you so much for your support and for stopping in. I've actually been here for a little over 2 hours. I'm just finishing up, so I'm not staying very much longer either. But thank you so much for your support. That means the world to me. You're the best. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight for this crazy potato party. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I may eventually make prints out of it. I may give it away. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in that. I think it's pretty fun. I might go in later and add some little like party streamers and stuff. We'll see. We'll see. I might just leave it as is. But yeah, you do have some long lives, Thomas. So I think that's about it. I've been yammering on for a long time. I did a lot of drawing. I had so much fun. Thank you all for being here. We are doing this again, I think, on Monday night at the same time. So 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, which is my time. I will be doing another unboxing of a different set of Ohuhu markers. They are the pastel set, 48 count. And I will be thinking of something to draw for that night as well. If you have any suggestions, shoot those suggestions my way. So, yeah, I think that's it. I'm just thrilled with all the love and support. You guys are the best. I have actually been on YouTube now for a year this month. This was the first, last year in November was my first video. I had no idea what I was posting. I was fairly sure I was never going to be able to do this. And a year later, I'm just doing more and more and more. I'm almost at 200 subscribers, which feels really great. It's a drop in the bucket to most people, but I work really, really hard at this, and I've been seeing more and more growth, especially since meeting Grandma Barb, who has been a little guardian angel with all of this. So I appreciate all of you who have come from Grandma Barb and are showing me support. It's just, I'm not going to get all choked up, but it's just wonderful to be able to do this. Kitchen Witch, thank you so much for dropping in. Oh, you guys, this is lovely. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to do this again, probably on Monday. I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.